Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to Weekly Wellness with Miss K and Dr. D.
Hello.
My name is Miss K. I'm a licensed clinical social worker here in Indianapolis.
And I'm Dr. D, and I'm a licensed clinical psychologist here in Indianapolis.
So I think appropriately today we're going to talk about change. And I say appropriately because it appears that you've made a significant change since I last saw you.
Oh, right. Yeah, I did something new with my hair. I changed my hair.
She
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
She sure did.
I really like it. I think that you don't see a lot of mullets anymore.
No, you don't really see any.
And I feel like it's a pretty stylish do. I'm happy with it.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah. So so let's talk about change.
Change. I think the first thing we can certainly say is that change is one of the biggest challenges in the mental health field.
Yes.
Helping people to deal with change and the discomfort and fear that comes with change is a lot of the reasons that people come into a mental health professional.
Absolutely. Because dealing with change, it can lead to like increased anxiety, feelings of grief and loss for what you're leaving, feelings of depression. It can be something that can be very significant.
Absolutely,
in a
and this
life.
this may be changed that you may be choosing to make for yourself, or it may be change that has happened to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it can cause a great deal of stress.
Yeah.
And that discomfort and fear, people don't naturally want to avoid discomfort and fear.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so and that's change is always going to involve some discomfort and some fear.
Yeah, absolutely. But even if the change is positive,
even if it's positive,
right? It can still be frightening. It can still cause some discomfort. So you might be in a job right now that you don't like. Maybe you even hate it, right?
Sure.
Maybe
we all know if we haven't been there ourselves, we certainly know
absolutely. So maybe you feel like you're overqualified for it. Maybe you're not challenged by it. Maybe they're not nice to you there. There's
a million reasons that people
why
despise
you don't want to go to work in the morning. And even though you know that you would be better off by getting a new job, the fear of having to put your resume together, the fear of going through the whole online application process, which is a nightmare. Don't let that deter you. But it's a bigger deal than it used to be, you know.
Particularly if you are an older person that is starting to looking to start a new career.
Right. The fear of learning a new environment, learning a new skill set, all of that can be really scary, and it may cause you to try to avoid that change, even though the change would maybe be very positive for you.
Exactly, and we know people that have, and you may know people that have been in the terrible job situation for years, if not decades, because that fear of the change has overwhelmed them to the point where they can't take the steps that they need to take to make some changes. So
what about parents?
Parents, so yes, we've talked in the past about parents that are like in this coming year maybe starting to help their children look for colleges.
Absolutely.
And what does that mean for parents of 18-ish-year-old kids who are getting ready to go to school?
Huge.
That is a significant transition in parents' lives.
Yes.
People our age, and our kids are going to school.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? The home's going to be empty.
Yeah.
Your child doesn't need you the way they needed you before.
Scary changes, and being able to deal with the transition in that relationship, and being able to deal with it successfully and as healthily as possible.
Exactly. You are getting ready to make a significant change.
I am making it. It's just it's not just my hair, right? Because I mean, this was a significant change. But
no, it was definitely significant. I was talking about good changes. Like you're getting ready to make a really a positive change in your life. So you could tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, well, so at any rate, I'm getting ready to buy a house on my own, which is a huge change. That's a big change. A big, significant change. And even though that's really scary, it was a process I was unfamiliar with. I didn't quite know how to do it. I decided I'm going to do this because I think ultimately, despite the discomfort, despite the fear, I feel like this is going to be a really positive change for me in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And part of you really knows that is the right thing for you to do.
Absolutely.
Even though your life has been one way for a very
really
long time.
Yeah.
And now it's going to change.
Yeah.
And it's scary.
Yeah. Absolutely. What about you? Because you've had significant change.
One big change that I am making, which is pretty scary and kind of depressing to me, is that I need to make some really significant changes to my diet.
Yes.
Finding out that I have a lot of significant sensitivities to foods that are causing a lot of problems, and that could cause many more problems in my future. So I am having to make a significant lifestyle change in the things that I've eaten, the things that I've eaten for 40-something years that I love and that are part of my life and my soul and everything. And it is terrifying to think about literally saying goodbye to things that I love. So when I think about this change, it's like this pit in my stomach it's like grieving a loss, literally, or it's like a break. It's like the feeling of a breakup, and it sounds really dramatic, but this is the kind of change that I'm getting ready to go through.
Yeah, but that's important. I think and what you just said is incredibly important, because any kind of change can spark some feelings of grief.
Absolutely,
grief and loss. So it may be a job change, it may be a diet change, it may be a house change. I mean, even something that you feel like, oh, I shouldn't have an emotional reaction to this. Well, it's amazing. Even small changes can really lead to feelings of loss and some depressive feelings.
Yes, and that is normal and natural.
So how do we deal with it?
So, as always, we have 3 important tips for you to help you deal with and manage change, whether it's a change that you are choosing to make or a change that is happening to you. Number 1, stop trying to control what you cannot control.
Absolutely.
Number 2, self-care.
Self-care.
Number 3, talk. So let's talk about that for a minute.
Absolutely.
Number 1, stop trying to control what you cannot control. What does that mean for someone?
So what it means is, despite the fact that we don't want to admit it, we have almost no control over anything.
That is very true.
It's very difficult to kind of wrap your head around that, but it's true. The one thing you do have control over is you. You have control over you and your reaction to your environment. Change is going to happen no matter what. It is inevitable.
It is.
So you can either choose to embrace it, learn from it, grow from it, or you can be fearful of it and hide from it. But either way, it's going to happen.
You cannot control that.
You cannot control that.
But you control how you react and you respond
to the
changes.
Absolutely. Number 2,
self-care.
What does self-care mean, Ms. K? What does it mean?
This is huge. Some people have no concept of self-care because they don't take care of themselves.
Absolutely.
And very often, we are the last person that we think of.
Oh, yeah.
As far as taking care of our own needs and what we need, because we're taking care of so many other people and so many people at our jobs and all this and that.
Absolutely.
But particularly during a time of stress or crisis or transition, you need to take care of you.
Yes.
And first of all, you need to pay attention to your feelings and what your feelings are, how those feelings are manifesting themselves in your body.
Absolutely.
And the way that you behave and the way that you treat yourself. So are you, again, especially during these types of times when we're transitioning and we're making a big change in our lives, we need to pay attention to the food that we eat.
Yeah.
The kind of food that we put into our body affects very much more than anyone really knows the way that we feel. So paying attention to eating healthy foods, paying attention to the foods that are going to your body.
Yes. Paying attention to how much sleep you're getting. Are you getting an adequate sleep? Sleep is so important.
Hugely important to make sure you're getting sleep, some form of exercise.
Absolutely.
And additionally, is your anxiety and your fear about change making you do things like drink or smoke more or use drugs? Paying attention to how you're behaving and how those feelings are making you behave is extremely important. Treat yourself.
Absolutely.
So if that means, getting a manicure, going and getting a massage, remember that if you don't take care of you, particularly during times of change, no one's going to do it for you. No one's going to do it for you.
Getting your hair done.
Going and getting a haircut.
Getting a new hairstyle.
A hairstyle. Particularly, it would be helpful to get something that helps you to look maybe better.
Yeah.
Maybe it looks good on you. And
absolutely.
Making good choices as far as your appearance and things like that.
Yeah,
so
thanks.
making good choices.
Yeah.
Right?
Self-care.
Self-care.
Right?
Self-care.
Self-care.
Sure.
So that leads us into the last tip, which is
talk. Please talk.
Absolutely. Talk to friends, talk to family. Everybody goes through change.
Every
Don't go
single
through this
human
alone.
being.
Share this. Share your struggle. Talk to your sister. Talk to your friend. Talk to whomever. Talk to your partner. Whomever. Share what's going on for you.
You have to get this stuff out. You should not be ashamed of saying that you are going through a time where you feel really weak, or you feel really scared, or you're crying a lot. It's okay. Yeah. This is normal. And please express yourself to other people. And that's a hard thing for a lot of people to do, to admit that there's some feelings of weakness and some feelings of vulnerability.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to seek out a therapist if indeed you feel you need one. There's no shame in that.
Absolutely. That is one of the main things that in practice we see people coming in to discuss significant transitions in their lives.
Absolutely.
And the stress that can bring.
Yeah. You know what? It just made me think that you're going through a big change. You might need to go see my hairstylist. It might be a good idea for you to get a new look. I don't know. I just thought, it just dawned on me, like, why not you?
Okay. And I think this is a great opportunity to point out that not all change is right for all people, right? So a change that is great for Dr. D isn't right for anyone, or it isn't right for me. It's just important to remember that.
Okay.
We're looking out for ourselves, right?
Okay, sure.
Making the right changes for ourselves.
Yes.
So again, a change that's right for Dr. D is not going to be right for
maybe not
me.
Maybe not everybody.
So
yeah. Okay.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for Weekly Wellness with Dr. D and Ms. K.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We look forward to seeing everybody, or sort of next Thursday's Weekly Wellness.
Absolutely. And we would appreciate any likes and shares that you can give us.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a good night.
Bye.